It's been a long time coming, and I am excited. I got my buddy Alex in the house. I've known him for probably well over 10 years now at this point. I have a lot of shit I want to ask you about, but
we're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing this. It's time. It's your game time, buddy. Before we get into all that stuff, first and foremost, I want to name drop. I hope Jack Daniels is recovering well from their semi-wreck. We will rebuild. No frets. Also, too, it's been brought to my attention that there is a little bit of interest in donating towards my greater good here. I put my my Cash App and my Venmo both up on my TikTok. If there is any interest in donating and helping us build, because I am far from done. There's been talk about a remote studio in the next 6 months. There's been talk about much better equipment. So if you would like to help us at all, anything, any contribution, whether it's input or money,
it's going to be for a good cause. Even if 1,000 people donate $1, that's $1,000.
Oh, and that would be outstanding. That would be amazing. Again, it's on my TikTok. It's Insane Mechanic on TikTok, which might change soon. That's just my original name, as you'll hear coming from Dustin in a previous episode. Cash App is Sage dash Bogardus, and then I'm sorry, that's my Venmo. Cash App is just Sage Bogardus, no quote. So anyway, we got my buddy Alex here, and I'm excited to delve into this a little bit. I have a very weird outlook on what I think I know about you.
Well, oh,
you are one of the most interesting individuals that I've had the pleasure of coming across in my life. Your ability to interrogate in a very passive manner is one of my favorite things, by the way. I will say that.
Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to have you back as well.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a one-time thing. We'll be around. You'll hear from me.
So, to get right into it, I know a little bit about where you come from, just a little bit. I know a little bit about your family, just dabbles here and there, and that's part of why I'm so interested, because I want to know where you come from and where your personality comes from.
Well, if you really want to get into the thick of it, I wasn't even supposed to be here.
Here?
Yeah, in existence.
Oh, it's a good start.
Yeah, you want to start from the beginning and you want to get real deep real quick.
Yeah, let's go.
My parents were going to get a divorce when my sister was old enough to handle it, and they had made that decision before I came along.
Holy shit.
So then I came along, and I was a bit of a surprise.
And you and your sister share the same father?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have another sister on my father's side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my mother and my father had two of us. My sister Lauren, and then I. She was born in '86. I was born in '93. '90s baby.
Yeah, I think I've met your sister on maybe a couple of different occasions.
Yeah, she's a character of herself.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Where were you born?
I was born right here in Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah. I've gone places to visit. Mm-hmm. Some of them extended visits. Several months over up in Canada. But I've always lived here, right here in Phoenix.
Nowhere else in the U.S.?
Nope.
Damn.
I really haven't traveled much either. I've been up and down the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Colorado for the first time when I bought my Honda, my race car.
Yeah.
People are going to laugh at me for that one. But yeah, I've never experienced anything really east of here other than Colorado.
Interesting. Okay. One of the things I'm a little bit more curious about, if I'm being completely honest, because I've heard blips and pieces about the relationship with your father.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
We all kind of expect to help out or take care of our parents when they get older,
Mm-hmm.
but you never really expect to be the adult in that relationship.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I understood, is that you've done a lot more guiding than you have being guided.
Yeah, there was a point a couple of years ago where I went from being the child to kind of being the adult and making sure he takes care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was always kind of there,
Mm-hmm.
but he struggles with his mental health, and then wasn't around as much. Of course, my mom and my dad got divorced, so kind of there, kind of not there.
Sure. I know you visit him often enough.
I try to, and I would like to more often, but it feels like in this modern world we get dragged in so many different directions.
Man, the tension is tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely get pulled in a lot more directions than I think we intend to, which is super unfortunate for reasons like that. Just one of millions. Yeah, I've always been a little bit more interested about that, for lack of conversation, for one, and that's fine. That's your personal business. But now I'm here to get into it. No, I'm kidding.
We can get into it.
I've heard a little bit about it, and I've always been a little bit more curious as to your personality. Strikes me as such a unique one. Do you have any reference to what I'm referring to
I think I do.
in comparison to? I mean, just in general, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I fit in everywhere but nowhere at the same time.
Oh boy, that one speaks to my heart. Fuck. Okay, so you have some form of self-realization going on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
I feel like the soul that I have is the old man farmer sitting on his porch in his rocking chair, looking out over his pasture, waiting to die. Like he's over it. He's sitting there enjoying all the years he's worked.
you know, I can kind of put that into. I can fit that in a little bit, given your lack of fucks over the years. Also, one of my favorite qualities. Watching you. How old are you now?
29.
29.
Just turned 29 in December of last year.
So not to say that I'm a whole lot older, but watching you grow up a little bit more from your early 20s when I knew you
Yeah.
has been. I mean, I'm gonna say it's been pretty impressive, to say the least, because I've kind of watched. I almost feel like I see a little bit of myself in you. Your willingness to learn and to adapt, and your willingness to be more open minded, has definitely shown.
Oh yeah. When I was a kid, I was given tool sets for Christmas, and you're damn right I used them. Sometimes not with the best.
Are we talking about actual tools?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When I was I don't know, single digits, I would get tool sets because I always wanted to work on my own bike.
Right.
I've never been one to take my bicycle to someone else to work on it.
Mm.
I was like, I can do that. I can take this apart,
I
figure
got
out
this.
how it works, and put it back together.
Yeah.
Most times.
Boy, I've fallen victim to that one.
I was lucky that my father was an electrical engineer, because I think there was one time I took apart a VCR, and I did not know how to put it back together. So he put it back together for me. But I've always had that drive to take things apart and figure out how they work, and I feel like that's turning into my outlook on people as well nowadays.
Dude, I was kind of wondering where you were going with that and why it turned into tools, but I completely fucking agree with you, to be honest with you. You put a lot more effort into attempting to fix things than I don't think you should give people that much credit for one. No, I'm kidding. It's the wrong outlook to have, especially when I'm trying to do this. But you definitely put in a lot of effort into trying to problem solve on a very personal basis, might I add.
Absolutely.
Very case by case.
Yeah, I've got friends, and sometimes there's rifts between these other people,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want everybody to be friends. I want to be able to have all of my friends in one place at one time,
In a perfect world.
yeah,
Right.
and so it's always it's always a struggle because people are different
Right.
and don't always get along, and
Unfortunately.
I seem to enjoy trying to fix that.
Well, I'm even more impressed yet again by the awareness that you have for it. I think I'm yet to point out something that you're not already fucking aware of.
Yeah, I'm pretty self-aware. It's not always a good thing because I know I do have problems and I don't always try to fix them.
Well, we all have problems. I don't think that goes without saying. We do all have issues and problems and things going on in our life. You carry them well, by the way, and you should probably quit that shit. I don't. I as a perspective, maybe for you, this is part of the reason that I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, because not all of us are hugely self-aware. I am self-aware that I feel different compared to the next guy, and I feel like I have different intentions than the next guy. But unlike you, I am fucking lost as to why. I don't have nearly any of the answers that I would like to.
I would say I'm also lost as to the why. I think I've figured out the how.
Okay, fair enough.
The why is always a question. Why are we here?
Sure. No, that's I mean, I guess that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And I'm reaching out as to try and figure out some kind of a fucking answer.
We're delving into it,
Yeah.
piece by piece, person by person.
No, I appreciate you definitely fucking coming back, dude. Because I got to talk to you more about this. 1 hour is not long enough. As I pour myself a little bit more Jack, I'm like, I need to fucking have more for this. Yeah, it's not having, not for me personally, not having the perspective. Let me backtrack before I go any farther into that. I find myself in situations with people individually, quite a bit of people, to be honest with you, that I don't understand. Situations that I don't understand. Whether it's separation, turmoil, unguided, some kind of misconstruction of something that ultimately leads to some form of separation.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. There's a couple of relationships that I'd like to put back together, but I don't understand the way they think.
Right, and that's the thing, and that's again, I guess, a big part of what I'm trying to accomplish here is that line of communication. Because the simple fact is, whether it's perceived as a quote unquote asshole move on my part, or a simple misunderstanding on my part, the fact of the matter is that probably most of the time I don't understand. And unless somebody's going to step up and tell me, or unless I have the perception and experience to deal with it on my own, then I'm still not going to know.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is a bigger part of what I'm trying to accomplish here is hearing your side so I can understand a little bit better before I dig myself that fucking hole.
Yeah. Opening the communication lines is the most important part to exploring any relationship with anybody.
Any relationship.
Yeah. And we're not just talking about romantic. We're talking about friendships. We're talking about family relationships.
Anything that would be perceived as intimate. And I'm not talking about sexual.
Yeah.
I'm talking about personal, close, And I get that that's not something a lot of people like to delve into. But that also leads me down a whole nother fucking road of questions.
Yeah.
Why not? If you're going to choose to be this big of a part of my life, then why can't we go down that road? Fear of judgment. This can go on for days.
Oh yeah. No. And a lot of people like to put up walls these days, and I get
Reach.
it. There is definitely a protection layer when you don't open yourself up.
There is.
But I feel like in the long run, you're not giving yourself the chance to grow by keeping those walls up.
I can agree with that. I don't think, especially the way that times move now, I don't think we have the time to not have that form of communication and that form of connection with one another.
Yeah, and social media has made everything so superficial.
Yeah, it sure has.
Only skin deep.
Because the next option is just right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You just got to sit down with these people and ask them, unfortunately, sometimes the hard questions. Me, I'm an open book. I just don't know when the right time to share things is. I'll admit that. Sometimes I overshare when I shouldn't, and I don't take the opportunity to share when I should. But if you ask the right questions, I'll give you the right answers.
That was deep, man.
I don't know about the right answers, but I'll give you an answer.
It'll be quick. It'll be the right answer for you. No, I think that's perfect, and by no fault of your own. You know, when like with me, when pressure is applied, I sure as shit. I mean, most of the time, I don't have the fucking correct answer for the moment.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, and I think that goes unspoken quite a bit. You know, that's why I think I emphasized a little bit with Zach about letting things cool off before you approach a result. You know, if something's going to happen, if a question is going to be posed, if there's going to be an issue that's to be resolved, then let it settle before you try to do so. And make sure your thoughts are what they need to be.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'd like to take my own advice on that, but there are times where I have poked and prodded when I probably shouldn't have.
It's all right. Nobody's innocent of not or nobody. Nah, you get it. Nobody's not guilty of that. Yeah. We've all done it, especially in moments of angst or intensity or passion, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. Anyone who I call a friend, I care about deeply. Most of my friends are family, and some of my family aren't even friends.
That's the unfortunate part. I've learned that one the hard way myself over the years. Yeah, family has been more of a distance from me than some of the people in my life that are not technically family. I don't like it because of the simple core word, family.
Yeah. Unfortunately, blood isn't always thicker than water.
Mm-hmm. It's been proven. So, going a little bit back to, you kind of gave us a little bit blip on growing up. You know, how was? I'm a little curious because I don't think I've ever asked you about anything to do with your school life or your growing up life.
Well, growing up, my parents did get their divorce. They separated around 99. I think the divorce was 01. And then my dad went to Canada for a while in 03. Mm-hmm. And to get some help for himself. There was some mental health issues and some drug issues. But I didn't know about that at the time, and I was so young.
Right.
Even I was young enough that the divorce really didn't faze me. But it was 03, so I was in third grade when my dad got, in my eyes, taken back to Canada by his family. And I didn't understand a thing. So I would say if anything in my childhood did any damage, that would probably be it.
Did you say 03?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 03 I was a freshman in high school, so that means you were quite a bit younger than I was.
Yeah.
Damn.
You were born in what, 88?
88.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a hell of a milestone to go through that young. without really fully understanding the repercussions.
Yeah, and so that was probably the big kicker of when my dad became more absent, and I had to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends were out being children while I was fixing things around the house. I was being the man of the house.
Sure.
I think by the time I was 10, I knew how to work on 240 volts electric around the house.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Taking apart pool pumps is an interesting feat.
Yeah. But you did it.
Yeah. And, I went to school the whole time. I would say I was always friends with everybody, including the cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I found my niche somewhere in the middle. Because I was a weird kid, but I was also borderline one of the cool kids. So school life wasn't bad, and then I found band. So band became my persona for a while. I was a band geek. Played the trumpet.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I understand you had a little part in band yourself.
A little. Oh, a little, man. I was in band since I was in second grade.
And what'd you play again? The tuba, right?
What fucking didn't I play? I started with baritone,
Okay.
brass. I don't know if the viewers can't see these lips, but these lips do not allow for trumpet play. So I did not dabble any farther than baritone. I moved on to saxophone.
Okay.
I think probably third grade. Third grade. And I played saxophone all the way until my junior year.
Yeah. Third grade is when I started.
That's not true. I lied. There was milestones. But anyway, go ahead.
Third grade is when I started. The elementary school band, learning how.
It's one of the many things that you and I share is a little bit of a fire for music.
Yeah, and you're pretty good. I mean that intro's not nothing to shake a stick at.
Thank you for that.
And
took me like 3 fucking days. No, I'm kidding.
but I like the way it turned out.
Well, thank you.
The time was worth it. And one of these days, I think you're going to have to lay some bars down on that.
Oh, man. Oh, you're striking a nerve. It is one of my goals. Once this thing is afloat and doing its thing, I do want to, dare I use the word produce. My production skills are fucking nil. And without having quote-unquote bandmates, I do want to try and make something. Because I have like 10 pages of fucking disruptive words that I need to put somewhere. Maybe you can help me with that. You may not know yet, but you might be able to help me with that.
Need an outlet.
Yeah. So one day.
But
I have projects.
Well, I look forward to that.
Well, thank you.
And then, so I had to take a year off because of the way classes were in middle school. And then once I got to high school, I was in concert band as well as marching band all 4 years. A couple of times the football coach tried to steal me away because I was built to be a lineman.
I was like, because reasons.
Yeah. But football was just never my passion.
That's totally fair.
Like we got the Super Bowl in town here this weekend.
Yes, we do.
And I would rather go out of town.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's kind of a shit show, you know.
Yeah, I'm not. I had to deal with some of the traffic today.
Yeah.
We got the waste management open as well, so
yeah, getting around on the freeway has been kind of a pain in the ass.
Giant mess.
Yeah. So, yeah, I see that. By the time this airs, I think this will be a week and a half away from the Super Bowl. So,
congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs.
Damn, predictions made. Anybody want to put money on that? Just email me.
Remember, I know nothing.
Oh, no, we can't. You can't. I'm sorry. I don't email me because by the time this airs, one of the teams will have fucking won. I'm retarded.
You and me both.
Yeah. So that's so you were in band until
All the way through senior year. Yeah, that was. I probably should have pursued a career in it.
well, you can sing like a motherfucker. We all know that.
Karaoke. Yeah, this will be my first time in front of a mic without lyrics on the screen.
Think about it.
I'm a little nervous for it.
Karaoke is one of the hardest things to do with quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I feel you.
You're dealing with zero products that help like anybody else would in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
You have nothing in your ear telling you how fast to go or what to sing to. There's zero auto tune. Actually, the karaoke setups probably have negative auto tune.
Yeah,
and you still fucking storm the place like it's your job.
Yeah, and I'm real humble about it. I'll tell people, man, I just do what I do. I don't think I'm the best, but a lot of people like to tell me I did really, really good, and I'm just like, well, I'm just me.
Well, maybe we'll fucking mic you up in here and throw down one night.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I gotta figure out some more shit. I'm still learning how to do all the software bullshit. Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, don't ask me about software. I'm good with the hardware.
I have so many learning curves to go. It's not even funny. There's a reason why people take classes and get degrees in all this bullshit, and I don't have any of them. But that's okay. I've come this far. I will continue. Somehow.
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire. I've been blowing them up for a long time, but there is another individual involved in this whole process who will have a big episode coming soon.
You care to share who that is?
His name is Sheldon.
Okay.
He's an amazing dude. He has shared gracefully half of his equipment with me, and he calls this process part of his own.
Yes.
As well as I do too. He's been a big part of this. He's been a big part of the recording. He's taught me how to do a lot, and he will be on here soon.
Yeah, he's I met him once. He's been a behind the scenes partner.
He sure has, but
we're gonna bring him out into the limelight.
I already told him because I was antsy to give him his own episode. I wanted to fucking bring him out, but I told him no, we have to wait because your episode has to be a blowout. That's got to be a good one. And I'm going to build it up, and I'm going to plug it. I'm going to plug it and plug it until it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm going to make him help me with the music part. You just don't know yet. So school life wasn't so bad.
No, school life wasn't too bad. I hated doing homework. But I was one of the smart kids.
I could fucking see that.
I'd listen in class, pass the tests, usually with B's or A's.
You're listening to the material, not the teacher.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I feel like.
And I had some help. I watched, when I wasn't being the man of the house, I watched a lot of Discovery Channel. And through the 2000s, I feel like it was their prime time.
Yeah, that was a big time for Discovery.
Mythbusters and Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
He's big in trying to get people into the trades.
Mike Rowe, yeah, he exposed a lot of weird shit in a good way.
Yeah, one of his more recent episodes, because they restarted that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
One of his more recent episodes was this family that bottles deer pee and sells it.
I'm going to assume right off the bat that that's for hunting.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. I mean, there's no telling what people are buying it for, but
so
that's what it's marketed for.
So I've had the shit that's purpose-built for hunting. But yes. So I hope that's what it's for. That's good.
But yeah, so I feel like Discovery Channel helped me mold into the person I am today, helped me with a lot of my intellectual knowledge.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then just taking things apart and then having to figure out how to put them back together.
You referenced that in the beginning, and I wanted to add to that was also weirdly enough. I mean, So you're like, oh God, I'm just going back and forth. My ADD's kicking in.
You and me both. I got ADHD, but
Sorry, buddy. You're like, this relationship kind of reminds me of like, I'm speaking to the engineer and I'm the grease monkey. Because I used to do the same shit. I used to take shit apart and put it back together. But I've always been a mechanic. But I feel like you're the brains of the fucking operation, so you know why it went together.
well, thank you for that. I would rather not be called the engineer because us mechanics, we hate the engineers.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate them. I was getting ready to get into that, but starting to get angry.
Yeah, they're. I go along working on things, and I'm like, damn, this. If the guy who had designed this had just worked on it once,
If he would have just thought about what it's going to take to fix this,
yeah,
once,
but that doesn't happen in the real world.
never happens. But okay, so coming out of high school, did you graduate?
No.
Me neither. It's okay.
Yeah, I came close.
Yeah.
But I never liked doing the homework. And in my second semester of my senior year, I decided I didn't like going to school anymore.
How close were you? Can I ask?
2 credits.
Damn.
I failed most of my classes my second semester of senior year because I didn't do any of the homework or the projects.
Just lost interest, huh?
Yeah, it was enough of the grade that even doing well on the tests was not enough. I think I missed 45 days my second semester of senior year.
Holy shit! You literally just lost all
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know how many days are supposed to be in a semester, but I missed 45 of them.
Yeah, I don't have the math on that one.
So I tried at the last month, May, trying to turn in enough projects to graduate. Just missed it.
Didn't work.
Yeah. I turned in a couple of papers and teachers were like, well, this is a college level paper, but I can only give you 50% because you turned it in late.
Right.
I go, well, I'll remember that the next time around.
I'm just curious. Do you have any real world perspective or regrets on that?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
So I had gotten accepted into the University of Arizona.
Tucson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to go into their engineering program, and
Yahtzee.
yeah, we didn't make it.
That's okay.
That was my fault though, and it wasn't because I wasn't smart enough. Because I got in based off of my SAT and ACT scores.
You were obviously smart enough.
Yeah, and I just lost interest in the schooling, and then decided I didn't want to be behind the desk for the rest of my life. So I'm not a desk job kind of person.
No, I think that's most of our crowd.
Yeah. Right now I drive a truck, and I love the 360-degree round view that's always changing.
Yeah, the scenery.
But yeah, so didn't graduate, came close.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten my GED. I messed around and did some practice tests, but just haven't done it yet.
Wow. I mean, I really can't.
Oh, you were asking me if I regretted it. In some ways, yes. Some ways, no.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't have met the friends that I have now. I don't think if I'd gone to the university.
You don't think so?
No, I think my life would have been much different because not going to the university. I got a job at Papa John's delivering pizzas
Down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And while I was doing that, I got rear-ended and totaled my car. One of my bonehead friends found a modified Honda up in Colorado.
And we're getting closer to today.
And I decided I wanted it. So I rented a U-Haul truck and a U-Haul trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Drove up to Colorado. Drove back the same day, basically. I mean, it was a 20-something hour, 30-something hour trip that was made longer because the U-Haul had rented us a trailer with a shitty tire. Brought my car back, and having it a couple of days, because with my previous car, I had driven past a couple of car shows. One of them being at 35th and Union Hills.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to pull in there, but I didn't want, at the time I thought everybody else's cars were so much nicer than mine, even though they were other Hondas.
Right.
But my first car was a 97 Civic Coupe automatic DX.
It's this red one that I've heard about.
The red one.
Yeah.
Fishbowl, no window tint.
Mm.
Completely stock except for some aftermarket headlights I had put in it. And I was rolling on Steelies because it had hubcaps and then it didn't.
I was going to say for anybody listening, that situation is not a good one.
Yeah.
So it looked like spare tires. Was it lowered?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It was lowered.
I did have K Sports on it with the sticker in the window.
So the bitch was lowered, and it was bright, and it was slow.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
But it was in like mint condition.
Okay. So it was really good shape.
Yeah, I ended up getting twice Blue Book value for it from my insurance company.
No
'Cause
shit.
It was a top tier condition car.
Fuck.
Which makes losing it even harder.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I got out of that accident and I looked at my car and I started crying because it was my first car.
Mm-hmm.
But we got over that. We got this modified Honda Civic that I brought back from Colorado, and I said, you know what? I got a car that's worthy of these car shows now.
Yeah, dude. The fuck?
Maybe a little too worthy.
You waste half the... That's not the point.
So I pulled into this car show, and I met Mark with the blue Civic.
Mm.
And,
rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah, I miss him. And I met Jacob and Tweety.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I met you, is through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what you had at the time, but I remember you having a BMW.
Changed every fucking 3 days. Are you kidding me? The BMW is a lot later.
Yeah. I think at the time you were probably rolling with the SRT4s.
Oh. Ooh, I'm sorry for the delay, folks. Had a lapse in memory there. Jack in the Box.
So
I-7. No, that was way later, wasn't it?
there was 2 rounds of Jack in the Box.
The one at Deer Valley?
Yeah. So there was the initial round, and then we went back to 35th and Union Hills, and then went back to Jack in the Box days.
That's where I came in.
Okay.
And that was with my S2000. The one that you also wasted.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. So, anyway.
But the S2000 always had a bigger cool factor.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I definitely bought that to flex, and that was a stupid choice. Not a good choice.
It was a lot of fun. You learned a lot, right?
Oh, I learned a lot. Jesus Christ, yeah. My car stories are for a whole nother 3 episodes.
I'm gonna give them a blimp. Doing a drift in front of a bus stop with your best friend in the car,
Mark.
showing off to the girls.
Mark was in the car.
Yeah, showing off to the girls at the bus stop.
Yeah. Yeah, he witnessed a first-hand cock block. That was not my intention.
What was the cock block?
You didn't hear about this?
It's been a while since I've heard the story.
So that was actually, if I remember correctly, that was at 43rd and Union because I lived there at the time. I was turning left onto Union, and I pulled my bullshit, and there was a couple at the bus stop that was getting ready to kiss right as I did my thing.
Oh, yes, I did hear about this.
Yeah, and apparently the lady decided to turn her head mid-kiss, And
she was watching the car doing the drift.
She was watching the car, and dude was waiting for her. And Mark saw more than I did, but that's what I got, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, from what I heard from Mark, the guy almost landed on his face because
she was.
They were both going in for the kiss, and then she wasn't, and he didn't know that.
It's a funny story till this day. I love it.
But yeah, so if I had gone to the University of Arizona, I never would have gotten my car wreck. Never would have gone to the car show there. I mean, I would have found my way to the car shows because I've always been a gearhead.
Mm-hmm.
But I think timing plays a big role in life, and
I won't disagree with that.
And if I'd gone to the university, I don't think the timing would have been right.
You may not have come out the same person either.
Yeah, that's always true.
Did you have a direction going to U of A, or would you have had a direction?
Yeah, so I wanted to be in electrical engineering.
Mm. That's right, you mentioned that.
Kind of wanted to follow in my father's footsteps.
Sure.
But after that, I don't know where I would have gone. I didn't have a company that I wanted to work at. I just knew I liked working with the products.
Mm-hmm. That's a very vast void. You know, you could have ended up anywhere else. Probably white collar.
Yeah, and a lot of the technology in the States at the time was in California. I would have hated my life, but that's where the jobs probably would have been.
California?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now we've got big things happening in Texas. We've got some big things happening here now.
Yeah, there's quite a few things happening here.
But, yeah, like I said, I don't think the timing would have been right for us to meet. And in some ways, I regret not going to the university because I regret what my life... Well, I don't say I regret, but I wonder what my life could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so thankful for all the people that I have in my life that I don't know if I would trade it.
Sure. I can see that. I can see that very close because there was talk early on in my high school life of, you know, taking what I was doing and transferring it into ASU.
What were you going to go to ASU for?
Fuck if I know. That's been my biggest problem. Like when you walk into high school, you know, they automatically introduce you to your counselors and to your guidance counselors, try and figure out what fucking direction you're going to have. And the only direction that I ever received from a lot of people, from high school, from my counselors, my teachers, the only direction that I ever received was just getting through high school. And I have to be honest, like, it breaks my heart a little bit to think about it now as a grown-ass man. Because there was... when you go into high school, you're automatically thinking about what direction your life is going to go, what college you're going to go to, and, you're thinking about what road you're going to take. And...
the how, not the why.
Exactly. And... not understanding until just recently why things unfolded the way they did kind of hurts, and I kind of feel for anybody else that's going through it in high school without understanding why.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of outlets for figuring out where to go, how to do that, but there's nothing, like, I don't remember them telling me anything about, hey, you can go do this to help you figure out what you want to be, why you want to be that.
Right. There was never a real true guidance.
Yeah. About the only thing I can think of that offers any kind of inkling into the mind as to what you might be good at, what you subconsciously might want to do, is the ASVAB test.
Which is military.
Yeah, it's a military test, but they offer it for people, just to take.
Mm-hmm. They do offer that.
But even then, it doesn't narrow it down.
No,
it narrows it down a little bit, but it still gives you multiple options that you might excel at.
Sure, I would agree with that. But I would say for the majority or the masses, I don't know. The reality of what I've seen these days is set up for a whole lot of systems that you don't need to be a part of.
Yeah, I personally feel like we are pushing, not us because we're more tradesmen. We kind of push that aspect, but I feel like society pushes higher education into the universities, and there's so many degrees nowadays that don't get you anywhere.
No,
And there's a lot of people that are saying, "Hey, just go get a degree."
but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
And now and I'm gonna go into this one pretty hard, but now you're engulfed in $120,000 in student debt, which by the way is the only thing that doesn't ever go away. Do you know that? Do you know that?
yeah. You can't file bankruptcy to get rid of it.
It literally does not go. You don't deal with it. Guess who's dealing with it? Whoever is handling your bills after you die.
Yeah,
Now gets your student debt.
yeah.
And
If
for
I-
what? Because I can't say that because my nephew has one. Because you have some degree that you wanted some interest in that got you nowhere in, as far as your career life.
Yeah.
You just
I feel like we're channeling our inner Dave Ramsey right now.
oh yes, money talk. ROI. ROI is so important. Return on investment. I shouldn't do this. I do have to take a quick break though,
Okay.
because I've been supporting Jack Daniels so much this evening that I have to pee. So give me 1 second, folks. Fudge cakes, we're back. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, going back into what we were talking about, Dave Ramsey. You don't have to do all that. I did enough of it.
Yeah. No. I feel like,
That shit's pretty important, though.
dude,
And that's something they don't teach us.
I'm so hooked. I drive around for a living all day long.
Uh-huh.
KTAR news I listen to all day long. I feel like an old person.
Yes. I love it.
My great uncle was a big my great uncle was a big father figure in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and he was quite a bit older. He's my grandfather's younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he always listened to KTAR. In the car, and I'm sitting there riding around with him, listening to KTR, thinking, "Man, this old people radio." Here I am. I'm not even 30, and here I am listening to old people radio. But man,
I was like,
I'm
it's funny
hooked.
because now we listen to it.
Yeah, and dude, every day between noon and 2, I'm like, I gotta listen to my Dave Ramsey. I gotta get my fix. I gotta listen to Dave Ramsey call some people idiots.
Shout out to Dave Ramsey, man. The money magician. I love him. I do.
But yeah, so I feel like college gets pushed way too much, and there's so many other options out there. Perhaps not getting any degree is not the best recommendation, but so many trade school options.
Yeah, I would never push for zero education.
Yeah, I wouldn't push for them to do it the way I did it, maybe the way you did it.
Same. Yeah.
But there's so many other options to go into college. You got the trade schools, you got your unions, and I think we need to invest in our young people better.
I would definitely agree, and I would say information is going to be a key part in that. Just do something that, it's so hard to even start there. I could sit here and say do something that you're going to want to do, that you're going to actually do, and make sure it's going to pay for itself. But that doesn't start with me. I can sit here and talk that shit all day.
Dude, I love what I do.
Uh-huh.
I'm still lost.
Oh, 100%, man.
I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
I know what I'm doing now, and I know that I love it, but shit.
Coming up on 30?
Yeah, ask me what I want to be in 10 years, where I want to be. Shit.
No way, dude.
No answer for you. That's probably the one question I'm going to tell you to fuck off on.
Oh, man. It's such a struggling time, and it's one of the things that confused me the most. I don't know why I just turned into a lisp there. Going into my 30s, I finally, and this is probably, I'm not going to speak for a crowd or a majority, but going into my 30s, finally started getting a small handle on what I actually need to be doing. And I really don't even know what that statement entails, to be completely honest with you. Going into my 30s just a little bit more, because I'm only 34, finally start getting a little bit more of a handle on what it's like to self-sustain.
Yeah, to be an adult, to provide for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I feel you 100%, because here I am about to go into my 30s, and I'm like, all right, I got to pay off my debt. I got to erase the stupid that I did. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, I have done some stupid shit with my money.
I think we all have, buddy.
I have given other people, unfortunately, the rope to hang me with. I've got a beautiful blue Dodge, and it wasn't supposed to be mine. But we can come back to that one. Yeah, I feel like the important part in life right now is to pay off debt, start saving for your 401k, and try to save up to buy a house. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to buy a house in this market.
Yeah, that's another thing is, quote unquote, the American dream has changed drastically from what it was. And, that may not be the quotation of the century, but what we're supposed to be doing these days, I think, is a whole hell of a lot different than what we were supposed to be doing 20 years ago. And the things that going into our 20s, we were barely warned for. Because I personally don't remember much of my 20s. I feel like that was a whole lot of fuck-off time.
Yeah, we...
and not a good amount of it.
Yeah, well, and we were... You more so than I were recession teenagers.
What do you mean?
To the crash of 2008.
Oh,
that giant mess.
You know what? I wish I had some form of reference, because this crash and this recession keeps getting brought up in everything that I listen to, all the podcasts, shit like that. And to be honest with you, I really have no fucking reference as to what it did to me.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure it hurt me. I just don't know fucking how.
Yeah, so since I had to grow up early, I saw kind of more what happened in the '08 recession, maybe more than some. When I was a kid, my dad made great money, and then my dad lost his job in 2000 because the company he worked for got bought, and the company went from analog to digital. He was good at what he did, but he probably would have had to go back to school to rejoin.
So he got outsourced.
Yeah. The whole company got outsourced, and they were sent it overseas, and so yeah, between 2000 and '08, my mom made decent money. And it was just me and her in the house after '04, because when my sister graduated high school, she moved out, went to college. So there was some years there that were okay, but that recession hit, and
still in the same house as you are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my mom and we ate rice and beans. Our house was a month away from foreclosure. We had a for sale sign in the front yard. She did everything she could to keep that house, and thankfully
she succeeded.
Yeah, thankfully she succeeded.
She fucking did work.
But yeah, I went from being a rich baby to an okay financially child to my teenage years through my high school years. We were broke. We made it work, but we were broke.
One hell of a transition, man.
Yeah. And then I started making my own money, and I worked at Papa John's, so I got, cash daily tips. And
yeah.
I thought $100 a night was fucking big money.
So start learning the value of money,
Yeah. And then moved on from Papa John's and started realizing that when you work a day job and you don't just sit around all night doing nothing, when you actually have things you want to go do that you can do because you you don't sleep all day so you can work all night. That $100 a night wasn't shit.
Yeah, well, that comes with the times. As times grow, so does the value of $1,
Yeah,
so to speak.
yeah. Now I'm making double that.
Oh, I hope so.
I really should be getting paid more because the position I'm in, you have to be 25 or older to drive. But and another thing is, when I was growing up, I had a class, future problem solving. We kind of did look at our future. Didn't look at why we wanted to do things or how we were going to really get there, but kind of planned our budgets and built houses on paper anyway.
I think I kind of remember doing this.
And I remember looking at $60,000 thinking that's what I need to make.
Well, in all fairness, in that day and age, 60 grand was comfortable.
Yeah. Now I'm making 45 or 50 and I need more money.
Right. And without getting too far into detail, I'm closer.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit farther up there, but still,
Yeah.
we're still balancing shit.
Yeah.
Still got a balancing act to do.
You're like, shit, what am I going to do about next month?
There are some things that come into question, and the lack of being able to do things that I want to do and shit like that. There's risks, and let's just say that things are a lot different than when 30 grand used to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because there was a time that 15 to 30 grand was a bracket.
Yeah. I listened to a lot of Dave Ramsey and a lot of KTAR. There was an expert on about public rental housing. Did you pour a little too much in there?
Got a little heavy on that one.
A little heavy on the jack.
That's my fault.
We might get further into Sage here than we expected. But yeah, so there was an expert that said you got to make like 1.8 times the minimum wage to be able to afford an average 1-bedroom apartment in the greater Phoenix area.
Is that accurate to today?
Yeah.
Okay, that has to be strictly just rent.
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of apartments?
Yeah. So the calculation that's used is if you're paying more than 30% of your income to housing, you're not financially well off. So to hit that 30% number for a 1-bedroom apartment, you have to make $25 an hour or 1.8 times the minimum wage. And
that's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boy, my first job was paying me $8.25. Which is bullshit compared to some of the other shit that I get to hear.
I got paid $7.50 when I was in the store at Papa John's. When I was on the road, clocked in as a quote unquote tip server.
Tip server.
Yeah. $3.50 an hour, or was it $4.50? I don't know. I think it was $3 less an hour because they expected you to make tips and expected that to pay for everything. Sorry. Sage's hat is causing a distraction.
That was strange.
It busted open like a shirt hiding some bosoms.
Wow. My boob head is out. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so tip server wage is bullshit. I'm sure a lot of our friends can agree with that because we know a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah, definitely.
But I thought I was rich with all that cash I was getting. And then I grew up and tried to be an adult, and I realized that wasn't much money.
Oh, man. I think I remember the first time paying rent was going to be a big question mark. And I was like, fuck. You know what sucks is I didn't take the necessary action to fix it until I was probably after 30.
Yeah. I've never been one for apartment living, and the living situation with my mother is different. I've got basically a master bedroom on the other side of the house, and I help her with the bills.
Quite a
And
nice setup, by the way.
yeah. Paying my portion was tough sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I pay for my portion of the bills there. So, but yeah, everything's expensive.
Yeah. Financially, times are hard.
Yeah.
Times are really hard. And I feel for single individuals trying to make it on their own without having already invested and indulged into a career. I feel for single parents
Yeah.
trying to accomplish things for their children. So many different scenarios we can dive into. I really think that the most important thing to acknowledge here is the mental stress that involves all of this.
Oh yeah. We're just talking. We were just talking superficial about the money part, but
Right.
there's so much stress that comes with, you know, especially like when my mom almost lost the house.
Yeah.
You know, literally pulling her hair out,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out how she was going to make it happen.
Yeah, I can't. Fortunately, for me, but unfortunately speaking for everybody else, I don't have that perspective. I can't imagine though, because I'm here by myself with 2 dogs, and I stress out enough about finances without having something outstandingly real to worry about.
Yeah.
Aside from losing my truck, you know, my consequences are shit
Yeah.
because I can pick up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um,
You can always start over. You're not tied too far down.
it would take time to recoup, but not in a realistic sense.
Yeah.
So there's people that I know that would suffer lifetimes worth of pain
Yeah.
compared to what.
Yeah, I give props to all the single mothers out there that we know,
Mhm.
And not just the single mothers, the single fathers, but ultimately the ones that are with the kids the most,
Yeah.
and are single and are making it work. I've been that kid, and my mother is one of those mothers,
Mhm.
and I've seen how it is, and hats off to all of you out there making it happen.
Yep. Yeah. There's so many different people to give a hats off salute to. So many different individuals fighting so many different battles, and they're all important to note, but I cannot.
Yeah, we would need a couple of weeks worth of recordings
A couple of weeks.
daily
Yes.
to talk about everybody's problems.
Yes. But on that note, we've dabbled on a lot today,
Yeah.
and I have so much more to dabble on. So you'll be back.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. I'm here for you.
I'm excited to have you again, and I appreciate you coming on today. Filling in for Jade will be back. She's just out of town dealing with some personal stuff, and that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
But
I look forward to coming back, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show,
absolutely.
on your podcast.
Is there anything you'd like to plug? Any people, any companies, anything like that?
No, not at the moment.
That's okay.
Yeah, we'll I'll think about that for the next episode.
No worries, no worries. As always, any questions, comments, concerns, any wants, invites, anything like that, email me at meversusmeinfo. That's MEVSME info@gmail.com. Again, Facebook, Instagram, check us out. And if you are so generous as to donate $1 towards the cause.
Or 5.
Or 5. Either one. No. Any donation, even, again, verbal comments, congratulations, anything, I don't give a shit. It's all appreciated. I'm only doing it because I was brought up to be a good thing. So, we'll see. And, again, thank you guys for listening.